speaking of letting things cook, we're just going to have to let the Carolina Hurricanes cook. On the bright side, they got to the 100-point mark again. They've had yet another great regular season. That's the norm now for the Carolina Hurricanes under Rod Brind'Amour. They're really good in the regular season, and it's very likely they can win the Metro Division. However, they are shaky at times as well, and I think that's the thing that's got everybody worried. Yes, you can win some regular season games in dramatic fashion. Can you do this over the course of a 7-game series? Obviously, that did not happen last year. The Boston series was entirely way too difficult for them to get past, and then eventually caught up to them in against New York when they traded the very bizarre "we only win home games until Game 7." But here's Rod Brind'Amour last night as they had yet another exciting, crazy finish to beat the Rangers in New York on making it to the 100-point mark.
Oh, I just thought it was a great effort right from the start. We didn't come off it. You know, we had a game plan. Guys knew what we had to do. They got a high offensive team and trying to limit their chances, and it was everybody. I mean, all 20 guys contributed in this win, and even though it wasn't looking good for most of the game, we're down, and then tied up. They get it right away. You know, I just love the way it's next shift, and obviously it was great to tie it up and get that late one. So we got what we deserved tonight for sure.
Okay, I had only read those comments before, just now hearing them.
Yeah.
And what I thought to myself, you were there, I was there, we were in a locker room, the Carolina Hurricanes won the Stanley Cup, Rod Brind'Amour was the captain, he's drinking from the Stanley Cup, obviously overjoyed.
Of course.
That's the only time in my life, and I've now covered 23 years of Rod Brind'Amour, that I've seen him satisfied.
Oh, geez, when you put it like that, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, he got here in 2001, right?
Let me go get my readers.
Okay.
Anyway.
So we've known this person as a player and coach for 22 years.
Yeah.
And he's been satisfied exactly once. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Last night came dangerously close to reading the words, and I'm saying, Rod kind of sounds like he was happy.
Maybe.
Which lends credence to our theory that last night was more than just a regular season game.
It was.
Take
playoff
that,
like.
Adam Gold.
It was totally playoff-like.
How many times have you talked to Rod Brind'Amour? And he sounded like that. He damn near needed a cigarette after that goal by Teuvo Teravainen.
There's one other time I've seen Rod Brind'Amour super satisfied. Who was that motivational speaker that they brought in?
Manolo.
Manolo. It's the only other time I saw him like smile. Because you saw the video.
No, there's different. He was happy.
But you saw that video.
He was kind of chuckling.
No, he was into it. He was bopping back and forth.
He was ready, he was ready to play against the Kings that night.
Put me on the face-off. Let's go.
The Ruski. The Ruski rookie.
And they're going to see the Rangers on Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I've kind of pinpointed this week. The Rangers are on the come-up. All these things led to the dreaded playoff-like regular season game, but it played out that way, which gets me to my larger point.
Rangers' first loss in regulation since March 4th.
Dude, it's nuts.
They've been on fire.
No, but have you seen the finals in some of these games?
Yeah.
They're football scores.
Yeah.
They're Iowa football scores. Okay? So 7-0, 6-0.
Except when they play CJ Stroud.
Yeah, that becomes another issue altogether. No, so this is the Canes, by the way. The Canes, and I think we saw the perfect distillation of what the Canes were around the Stadium Series. And they don't shy away from the moment. The moment is not something that's bigger than them. However, they really do love and have a flair for the dramatic. And it's their style of play. It's what they're used to. It's plug away, chip away, play your game.
Play low, keep away, control the puck.
Do your thing, and then
shots on there.
Hopefully it's going to break your way. And buckle up. I mean, that's all I can really say. Buckle up. It's going to be an entire postseason of this where you're going to be stressing hard. So I would recommend that before you go to a game at PNC Arena, time it so that one of those Delta 8s is hitting right when the game starts.
Obviously.
You get the right ones.
Big shouts to our guy, Jordan Stahl. Speaking of longevity, last night was his 729th game.
That's crazy.
With the Canes, which is second most in franchise history. and of course, Charles only his brother, Eric,
Of course.
who played in 909 games. Would love to see Jordan.
Here's Rod Brindamore asked if this is a typical hockey game for them. You know, the whole flair for the dramatic there at the end, pulling it out.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'd like if we can play like that every night, we're going to be in good shape. You know, because it's all about, you know, we're playing over there. It's just a tremendous offensive talented team. I mean, golly, but we were able to just kind of not. And we limited it, and that's the key. And then but still, we created enough chances to score more than 3. So, it was, like I said, it was good 2 points. Move on.
That's Rod Brindamore, head coach, Carolina Hurricanes.
I just guaranteed that he's going to be grumpy on Thursday, by the way.
One way or the other.
Yeah, I mean,
win or loss.
He can't. That's not how he's built. You know, he got up this morning at like 5:30 and
was upset.
Was doing like toe squats and whatever Victoria can tell us certain exercises. I'm not someone who goes to the gym. Victoria's all over.
Wait, you think Rod's doing CrossFit?
Rod's doing whatever, man. He's still working out. You know, he wakes up and works out.
I don't know.
At the crack.
No, he's still working out. I get that part, but I don't think Rod's doing CrossFit. He's
No.
doing.
I didn't say CrossFit.
He's doing
I said,
Rod.
Who
fit.
knows what? Who knows what
Yeah.
he's doing?
Yeah. So did I ever tell you the
As
story?
Luke famously wrote, his muscles have muscles.
They do have muscles. So this was when Rod was retiring from playing, and he came into the studio. Quick story time. This was at the time that I was doing P90X as an endorsement. Are you familiar with P90X?
Vaguely.
So it's this workout routine that's all built on muscle confusion. All right. So I was paid to do P90X. Otherwise, I would have done it. And it's kind of humbling because in order to get the endorsement deal, you have to do before and after photos.
Oh, okay.
So there's somewhere on the promotions computer, Bree has an old photo of me before and after doing P90X.
Okay.
Hopefully it never sees the light of day. So
As you've explained to me, there's a spot out there for everyone on the internet.
right. You're right. So Rod comes in and he kind of notices. He's like, "So you're doing that P90X thing, huh?" Because he listens. And at that point, I'm embarrassed. Like, I'm turning red. Like, Rod, I'm not going to have a workout conversation with you, okay? Because you're going to laugh at what's going on here. But he was, like, truly intrigued. He's like, well, what is it? And I was like, X, Y, Z, muscle confusion, things like that. He was like, huh, all right. But it wasn't, but he admitted, like, that's not for me. That's not what I do. It's not what we do. So you want to get Rod going on a conversation, you start talking about workout routines. I remember one time I asked him, this is back when I was doing the running podcast, and I talked to him about, like, why don't hockey players run? They don't do, they'll do the 5K every so often, but they don't run. Why? What's the thought behind that? And it's, of course, how they play. It's more short bursts.
They're on the bike, man.
They're on the bike
They get crazy
nonstop,
on that
all
bike.
that stuff, right? But running, it's the knees. You got to preserve the knees, all these other things going on. Of course, he also said, I believe he had done something to his ankle at a 5K. And that's why he said, I'm never doing that again. So there's all sorts of stuff that go into that.